visa tí mò ń wò.
Some strange custom they have. Because the king is dead, some important chief has to commit suicide.
You should have kept me informed.
Osman's son, I believe.
Why are you here?
I came to bury my father.
Your father's death is a barbaric custom. Simon's going to stop it.
You have no respect for what you do not understand.
Hey! So, Mr. Deyemi Okanlawon, thank you for sitting here with us, chat with Adi. And you're in Toronto. How exciting is that?
Pretty exciting. I've been wanting to come here for a long time, but between work and, life, it just never happened. I mean, I had a movie selected by TIFF in 2017.
Oh.
I was too busy to come.
2017.
2017, yeah, I would have been here by then.
So you were destined to be in Canada a long time ago.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So how are you loving the city so far?
It's a beautiful city. I mean, from what I've seen, the people are warm. It looks like a place with a lot of opportunities for people in different fields, especially, especially in film.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Building that up. Yes. So of course, you guys, as you know, Mr. Deyemi is in film, is in television. He also does voice acting in theater. He's been in this for a very long time. And he has played roles in Omogeto, The Saga,
Yes.
Blood Sisters, King of Boys, that's just to name a few. He has plenty under his belt, you guys. And he has definitely received numerous awards. And of course, your role in The King's Horseman is the one that is on TIFF right now, you guys. You need to go and get your ticket and go by before TIFF is done. Go get that, go watch it. So of course, we're gonna start with, how is the family that you left back home, wifey and children?
Everybody's good. I get to talk to them every day, Try to make sure my boys are behaving themselves when I'm out of the house.
And not stressing mommy out.
Exactly.
And that's always their job. That's good. Thank you. Help us say hello to them when you get back.
Will do.
And of course, how did you get into acting? Period.
Wow, that's a very long story, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. I kind of have to go back to the beginning because my first memory of acting was maybe at the age of 5.
5?
Yes. Primary school, all through primary school, I did every single play. I must have played from Baby Jesus to Joseph or some angel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I played every role, right? And I really enjoyed it. And I was pretty good at it, Yeah, because, I mean, then you'd hear comments, you get feedback,
Yes.
I used to read a lot of books. So my imagination was very, very active.
Wild.
Very active. And so I kind of got into high school and the drama thing just, it wasn't going to happen in high school. But when I was in uni studying chemical engineering, I had a business. My mom owned a bakery in Lagos. And so I used to sell her bread and cake on campus. She would supply me and I'll sell it.
Entrepreneur.
And then I, got involved with a faith-based, drama group.
Okay.
This is a university, school fellowship,
Yes.
And that was me coming back, sort of. And, I remember feeling very excited about it. Again, this was, ministry.
Yes.
I was studying engineering. The plan was try and get into oil and gas. But my career, my whole sales thing, apparently I was pretty good at it. My mom just goes, "Hey, while you're waiting for NYC, why don't you just come work for me?" You know. And then I fell in love with it. You know, and what I was doing on my campus, I started doing across maybe 68 campuses, you know, in the western region of Nigeria. And people, you know, it's very important that people try things and then get feedback and then work with that feedback, you know, some kind of encouragement and feedback on how you can improve.
Yeah.
And that happened with me as well, you know. So my career in sales and marketing started. I left my mom, started my business, marketing consulting company for small businesses. Tried to scale the business. My partners didn't see the vision, so I decided to go on my own. But I got a job offer with a financial service company, and I joined them as the head of marketing, and left that business to start another one called Sales Target. I was a consultant for small businesses, sales consultant. And then I think sometime in 2010, somebody who had seen what I was doing with Quick Meets Marketing Solutions, we had this physical print ad letter, reached out and said, "Hey, I work with a company that's the online version of what you're doing," which was what I was trying to tell my partners then to do, you know, but yeah, we didn't get to do it. So they hired me. Then OLX, you know, I don't know OLX, but OLX is a big deal, you know, or was a big deal. Came and bought up Dealfish, the company I was working with. And so I became the head of marketing for this multinational company. And all this while, I was still acting in church. Again, there was no plan to do anything but just church.
Yes.
Random conversation during a sales call. Someone mentioned an audition to me, asked me if I was interested. I'm like, okay, I mean, I've been on stage all my life, I might as well. Go to the audition, get 2 roles from one audition. Because the guys who did the audition needed me. It was a secondary school story. They needed a teacher, and they hired me for that role. But some guys who couldn't afford to put together their own audition sat in the audience and were watching people who were auditioning. And then they approached me afterwards and said, "We would want you to play the lead role in our short film." So my first film, I was lead in a short film.
Wow.
Because they shot that before the main thing. By 2013, I had done quite a few short films, Blink, Ogagun. Ogagun is in Iniredu. Iniredu, that's the name of the short film. I played the character Ogagun. We did something about, you know, Shakespeare's Macbeth. So it was a Yoruba adaptation of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Yeah, and then we went ahead and did a web series called Giddy Up, which became hugely popular. So I was sitting down in OLX, head of marketing, earning a good salary. Like I was balling. And I started getting these opportunities to come and act that I knew I could not do a 9 to 5 alongside the level of the projects that I was being called to do. And so I made a very, very calculated decision. It was very calculated. It wasn't random. I didn't just quit my job to act. It was very calculated. I had savings, I had investments. I was much younger than I am now. And I was pretty clear about what I wanted out of my life. So I took 1 year off work. And I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm so good at sales and marketing that I always get a job. That's not even a problem. Let me go and discover something new and have a great time." That was honestly what I was trying to do. I remember then thinking, I would love to be an 80-year-old man telling his grandkids, "Yo, you know, I did this thing, right? You know, I did this." All these boys, yes, you know, that was part of the conversation in my head. You know, I just wanted to live a rich life and say I'd done something, right? That's how 1 year became 2 years.
Wow.
Not because I wanted to, but work kept spilling over. Work kept coming. It never stopped coming. from the moment I did my first project, work has never stopped coming. The only time I'm not working is when I decide not to work. And it's been 9 years.
Wow. Wow, guys, 9 years.
So that's the summary of, that's a summary.
Yeah. Let's leave the full to a book. Wow, that's a beautiful story though. You've always been the go-getter, and you've always been, I would believe you're dedicated to any craft you find yourself doing. That's why you become very good at it and become a success. And we can definitely see that in what you do in films.
Thank you.
And yes, you're doing a good job. Thank you for showing us your talents, your God's gifts. Our next question would definitely be, how hard, or would I say how easy has it been, like, being in the industry? And of course, being one of the highest grossing Nollywood actor, we see that already in your work ethics. You're good at whatever it is you find yourself doing, but it's different when you're now working in the midst of other colleagues that don't always wish you well and are in competition with you. How have you found it? Has it been easy climbing the ladder for the past 9 years? Has it been hard? What are the struggles?
So I learned very early in life never to compete. I don't see competition. So not only don't I compete, if people were to try to compete with me, I don't see it.
Oh,
I don't have the apparatus to understand someone who's competing. I don't see anybody. Because truth be told, I am my biggest competition. Nobody drives me like me. The idea that I'm constantly setting such higher goals that require me to be a better version of myself. I'm so focused on that. I don't see competition. So for me, from the get-go, I already knew I had certain advantages. Because again, I was in business and I studied engineering. So my mind works very, very differently. Very, very differently. And I looked into the industry and I said, you know what? There are not a lot of people who look like me. There are not a lot of leading men who look like me. Like, back then, it was really about pretty faces. It was really about pretty faces. And I look, I said, they must need a hard guy that's not too cute, I could possibly, play those kind of roles. You don't need, they give the fine boy roles, give me the rest. But more importantly, I was coming from a sales background, which meant that I knew enough about networking. And because of my experiences in life, I figured out that the best way to get ahead is to network in a way that shows that you have value to add.
yes.
So my focus is never auditions. Because remember back then when people would go for all these aptitude tests,
Yes.
there'll be only 10 jobs. 10,000 people will go for aptitude tests. What are the chances?
Yeah.
And what I found was in my life, because I had results, I had the result of the work,
Yes.
I would jump ahead 10,000 people and get hired. Because they're trying to take a chance on someone out of the 10,000 or 10 people out of the 10,000. And here's one person who's already proven he can do this thing. So they just only 9 jobs left for those 10,000 and I get my gig. And the same thing applied in my career as an actor.
Yes.
I sat down, I decided first, I know the kind of life that I want to live. And whatever career, whatever activities I'm doing, they're all vehicles towards that life. And so acting became one of the vehicles towards the life. So I sat down and realized, okay, how does acting play? What part does it play in this overall objective?
Yeah.
And so I decided to figure out, okay, this is what I want out of acting. This is how much I want to earn. This is kind of standard of work I want to do because this is the kind of person that I am, And I was very honest with myself about my looks, about my talents, my skills, my work ethic. And so I built some kind of business plan. Yeah, it was some kind of business plan. It was really like detailed. I was like, my target audience was broken down into three. Like, yeah, producers who hire me, the media who amplify me, and then audiences who consume, my work, right? So those three were my target markets, and I had different things to serve, my targets. And I mean, I had the plan, and I just kept working the plan. Go to work, be excellent. It wasn't about how much I was being paid. It wasn't about how I was being treated. It was about the work. I would get in there and I would do my work. And then eventually I started to realize that I was working at a standard that was higher than the work I was being offered. And the universe abhors a vacuum.
Yes.
It's like praising God for something that hasn't happened. I don't think God can stand that thing. He will rush to fulfill that thing, right? It's the same thing with adding value. If you add more value than you're giving, and you're being given, because universe and the God who created it abhors a vacuum, it must level up. And so, since I wasn't going to come down, the work had to elevate. But before that happened, I was really frustrated, I was. So I quit acting in 2019, picked up my resume, and I got a job. After 7 years, I got a job as the head of marketing for Silverbird Film Distribution. Within 3 months, I was moved to head Nollywood, the Nollywood desk. And then sometime in 2020, when the CEO resigned, I became the acting CEO for Silverbird Film Distribution. My goal was dominate distribution. Leave the acting aside. There are too many things going on there. You're at the, not mercy, but every other person decides before they hire you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then COVID came, and work stopped for months. But acting work didn't stop. And I started getting some phone calls. Like, Deyemi, are you available? We have this project. Because I kept telling everybody I'm not available. I'm not available. I'm not available. Turns out, I was getting calls from everybody that I had wanted to work with for a very long time. Funke Akindele called me. Kimeli Tiba called me. Jede Shibera called me. Nazonuzo, Nia Kimolaya, Moabudu. Everybody was calling me. My phone was buzzing. I was doing all this work because I had set a goal to do something for my family. And I was working towards that goal. So the work was coming. And I wasn't even thinking about it up until I got to like November or December of that year. By then, work had started. I was already now starting to say no to projects. I was done with acting, really, I was. And because I'm so work focused, my head is always down working. Like, I'm always working.
Not distracted.
And then I looked up. I literally looked back. And I saw all the work that I had done. And I was like, my life is about to change. My life is about to change. And the moment Omogete the Saga hit, December of 2020, my career changed. It was now a struggle to remain in paid employment. It was a struggle. And I wanted to. But, I've been here before. God has taken me through this process before. And so I knew the signs. I knew the signs. I knew what was going on. My heart was broken in 2019 when I quit acting. My heart was broken. And God was saying, your heart needed to be broken, bro. But it's time to come back. And so I quit my job again and got back into. And the King's Horseman is part of the work that came out.
came out. Yes. Wow. Wow. Like you said, it's the universe. You know, God is the universe. So it's all the work that you've done pretty much just starting to pay off. So at the end of the day, it's still work ethics. The work ethics goes a long way. You
It
need
does
to
go a
be
long way.
determined.
It
Wow,
does. You
wow,
need to be ready
wow.
to work hard. You need to be ready to shut out negative voices, you know, body language. People will treat you, yeah, people will
You
treat
know,
you
African
something.
people, they're good at that.
Nah, you just don't, you, you own your space, right? You respect yourself. The more you respect yourself, the more you behave in a certain way, the less chance it would give to people to disrespect you. However, once they do disrespect you,
Yes.
you now have the right to stand up. Because again, I'm that guy. I'm doing this. This is my work. But if I'm disrespected and I look up at you, you will know that that should not have happened. And I will I'll put anybody in check. Thankfully, that hardly ever happens. Again, not the prettiest boy. My face is hard, so people they don't really want to test me.
Oh, they're scared.
No, but again, just do your job. All the drama and all that stuff.
Ignore.
Ignore it.
Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted, guys. But as we're talking on distraction, let's just give it a few minutes. We'll be right back. All right.